हेलो एवरीवन। लॉकडाउन के चलते अपनी स्टडीज़ को लेकर परेशान हैं? तो आइए आप और हम मिलकर आने वाली क्लास 12th के लिए कुछ डिफ़िकल्ट बट इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट केमिस्ट्री को पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हैं। सो वेलकम टू द क्लास 12th with a little bit difficult but interesting subject chemistry. Let's begin with the chapter 1, the solid state. The term solid is well known as it is a part of physical classification of matter. Matter are the substances having mass and occupy space or can be felt by our senses, which is further classified physically as well as chemically. A part of physical classification of matter is solid, which has definite shape and volume. So let us start the detailed study of solids in our chapter solid state. क्या आप बता सकते हैं कि सामने दिखाई देने वाली चीज़ों में कौन सी चीज़ कॉमन है? जी हाँ, इन सभी का एक डेफिनाइट शेप है और इनका वॉल्यूम भी फिक्स्ड होता है. सो एवरीथिंग विच हैज़ डेफिनाइट शेप एंड डेफिनाइट वॉल्यूम आर कंसिडर्ड एज सॉलिड. दीज ऑल आर सॉलिड. द सब्सटेंसेस विच डज नॉट हैविंग definite shape but they have the definite volume are liquids, and the remaining which neither have definite shape or volume are gases. So we can say that solids have definite volume and shape. Their particles are tightly packed. They have slight expansion when heated and incompressible in nature. So in this chapter we will study about the solids, their classifications, their properties and all. Solids are further classified into two categories on the basis of the arrangement of their particles, that is crystalline solid and amorphous solid. All the solids which have definite geometrical shapes are considered as crystalline solids. Their geometrical shape is due to the fixed arrangement of their particles, whereas amorphous solids does not have any definite geometrical shape because the constituting particles are arranged randomly. As in crystalline solids, all the particles are arranged similarly, so we can say that they have long range order of the arrangement of particles. That means throughout the solid the arrangement is same. Due to the same arrangement they have same bond lengths which are broken down at the same temperature, so they have sharp melting point. Similarly, when they are cut with the knife we get smooth edges and are anisotropic in nature, means have different physical properties in different directions. Examples of crystalline solids are sodium chloride, calcium carbonate, diamond, graphite, etc. Whereas the amorphous solids are not having any definite geometrical shapes due to the irregular arrangement of their constituting particles. If the particles are arranged similarly, they are up to the short range only, then again randomness is found, and due to this randomness their melting point is not sharp. So when they are heated they become soft, then softer and then melts. They are isotropic in nature because the values of physical properties remain same in all the directions. The examples are glass, rubber, plastic, chalk, cotton, etc. Marble is the crystalline form of calcium carbonate, whereas chalk is the amorphous form of calcium carbonate. Similarly, you have already studied in your previous classes the crystalline and amorphous forms of carbon, in which graphite, diamond, fullerene, etc. are the crystalline forms of carbon, whereas coal, charcoal, coke, etc. are the amorphous forms of carbon. तो हम कह सकते हैं कि जब किसी भी सॉलिड का फिक्स शेप होता है, डेफिनाइट शेप होता है, कोई ज्योमेट्रिकल शेप होता है, तो उसे हम क्रिस्टलाइन कहते हैं और बाकी सभी एमॉर्फस होते हैं. नाउ लेट अस सी द अरेंजमेंट ऑफ पार्टिकल्स इन क्वार्ट्ज which is crystalline type. You can see that the arrangement of constituting particles are similar throughout the solid. Hence, it is crystalline in nature. Similarly, you can see the arrangement of sodium and chlorine ions in NaCl, which is also similar throughout the solid. Due to the same arrangement, they have definite shapes and considered as crystallines. If we study the physical properties like refractive index, electrical resistance, etc., we found that the values of these physical properties are not similar in all the directions of the crystalline solids due to the different arrangements in different directions. Hence, they are anisotropic in nature. So, we can say that all the crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature. If we go through the quartz glass, which is amorphous form of the solid, we can notice that the constituting particles are not arranged similarly throughout the solid. Hence, they do not have any definite geometrical shape. We can see the same in the rubber, glass, cotton, etc. They are isotropic in nature because their physical properties or the values of their physical properties remain same in all the directions, because in all the directions randomness is similar. So on the basis of properties, we can classify or differentiate the crystalline as well as the amorphous solids from each other. When we cut the amorphous solid with the help of knife, we get rough edges. Whereas I have already told you that the crystalline solids give smooth edges. So these are the differences between the crystalline and amorphous solids. Now let us discuss the different types of crystalline solids or how the crystalline solids are further categorized. On the basis of force of attraction found between the constituting particles of solid, they are further classified into 4 categories, that is ionic crystals, covalent crystals, molecular crystals and metallic crystals. First of all, the ionic crystals. If the solid is made up of metal and non-metal, that is the combination of metal and non-metal which forms ions and have ionic bond between them, are considered as ionic crystals. For example, we can take the sodium chloride, in which sodium cation and chloride anion is found and bonded with ionic bond. Hence, the crystal of NaCl is ionic crystal. These type of crystals are conductor of electricity in their molten state. Because in solid state, they are not having free ions, so they are insulator in nature. But in liquid state or in their aqueous solutions, due to the free ions, they show conductivity. When the crystalline solids are made up of non-metals only, they have covalent bonds between them and considered as covalent crystals like diamond, graphite, etc. And they are insulator in nature due to the absence of ions in their solid as well as molten states. The next is molecular crystals, which are further classified into three types, that is polar, non-polar and hydrogen bonded. When the molecules are formed by non-polar molecules, they have London or dispersion force between them and named as non-polar molecular solids. If the molecular solid is consist of polar molecules, they have dipole-dipole interaction between them and considered as polar molecular crystals. And if the molecules are attracted towards each other by the hydrogen bonds, they are hydrogen bonded molecular crystalline solids. The hydrogen bonded crystalline solids and the polar molecules shows conductivity in their molten state or aqueous solution due to the presence of ions. And at last, the metallic crystals, which are made up of metals due to the strong metallic forces between constituting particles, and they are good conductor of electricity in their solid as well as molten states due to the presence of mobile electrons at the surface. So we can say that the crystalline solids are of four types on the basis of their force of attractions present in them. To understand the crystal, we must learn about some terms related with it, like crystal lattice. When allowed to cool slowly, the particles in a liquid will arrange themselves to give a maximum attractive forces to result in a crystalline solid. And that is the reason crystalline solids are considered as true solids, whereas amorphous solids are considered as pseudo-solid or supercooled liquids. If you have seen the glass windows and doors of the ancient buildings, they are found thinner at the top and thicker at the bottom. It is due to the tendency of fluidity in amorphous solids, which make them thicker at the bottom with the time as they float down. The arrangement of particles in a crystalline solid is called the crystal lattice. It is a network of the constituting particles which is responsible for the geometrical shape of the crystal. The smallest unit of the crystal lattice or the pattern of arrangement for all the particles is called the unit cell. Unit cell is the fundamental part of a crystal. Unit cell are the three-dimensional arrangement of constituting particles. By the three-dimensional continuous repetition of unit cells, the complete crystal is formed. Here you can see a cube-like structure which is consist of 8 particles. This is the arrangement of a unit cell. When this arrangement is repeated in 3 dimensions, we get a complete crystal with a definite shape. All the constituting particles are considered as lattice point. They may be atoms, ions or molecules and bonded with each other with a straight line bond. There are 7 Bravais lattice explained by the Bravais which are found in our world. These 7 are the basic structures of the crystals which are further having different types, and total 14 Bravais lattice are formed by them. These are the cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, monoclinic and triclinic. These all are having different shapes due to the different in size of their edges and edge angles. Now the question arises how to learn these easily. These parameters can be learned with the help of a table. First of all, make a table having 4 parts. The first part is unit cell, then types of the lattice in which primitive, body centered, face centered and end centered are the parts. Then position of sites which is denoted by A, B and C. And the last part is position of angles, that is alpha, beta and gamma. Now we write the unit cells or the name of the 7 basic unit cells, that is cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, monoclinic and triclinic. These are the 7 basic parts and they form total 14 Bravais lattice. These 7 names can be learned with the help of a formula, that is CT or HMT. Nowadays CT scan is a very common word. or means choice. So CT or HMT, which was a famous company for the watches. So C for cubic, T for tetragonal, O for orthorhombic, R for rhombohedral, H for hexagonal, M for monoclinic and T for triclinic. These are the 7 basic crystal lattice. These all 7 are having a common type, that is primitive, the basic type. So the primitive is common in all the 7 basic crystal lattice. So we write P for the primitive in front of all the crystal lattices. Then only the orthorhombic crystal is having all the 4 types of lattice, that is primitive, body centered, face centered and end centered unit cells. Then cubic, it is having 3 types, that is primitive, body centered and face centered. End centered is not found in the cubic part. Now the next, second from the above or second from the top is having body centered along with the primitive, and second from the bottom or the second last have end centered along with the primitive. Now you can count, we are having 14 Bravais lattices which are made by 7 basic structures. Now their parameters. The easy way to learn the parameters. First of all, the position of edges or the edge length. I have written A, B and C in front of all the crystal lattice. As the crystal lattices are 3-dimensional, so 3 sides are there, A, B and C. Now mark the sign of is equals to in between A, B and C for all. Now let us start how to learn. The first, cubic. having all the sides equal to each other. A is equals to B is equals to C. Then for tetragonal, A is equals to B, but it is not equals to C. That means in first we are having all equal and in second we are having one not equal. In third, orthorhombic, all are not equal to each other. Again we repeat the same pattern. Rhombohedral, all equal. Hexagonal, one not equal. Monoclinic, all not equal. And repeat for the triclinic, that is all not equal. So this is a pattern to learn. First all equal, second one not equal, third both not equal, and repeat the same, and last is the repeated of monoclinic, that is all not equal. Like this you can easily learn the pattern of the A's length for all the 7 crystal lattices. Now the position of angles, which is denoted by alpha, beta and gamma. First of all, we write alpha is equals to beta is equals to gamma is equals to 90 degree in front of 4, that is cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral and triclinic. Now the first 3 are similar. Alpha is equals to beta is equals to gamma is equals to 90 degree. But the rhombohedral is alpha is equals to beta is equals to gamma but not equal to 90. And the last one, triclinic, are having nothing equal to each other. Alpha is not equal to beta, is not equal to gamma and is not equal to 90 degree. Now the remaining 2, hexagonal and monoclinic. For hexagonal, alpha is equals to beta is equals to 90 degree but gamma is equals to 120 degree. Whereas in monoclinic, alpha is equals to gamma is equals to 90 degree and beta is not 90 degree. I repeat, hexagonal, alpha beta 90 degree and monoclinic, alpha gamma 90 degree. And for hexagonal, gamma is 120 and monoclinic, beta is not 90 degree. Like this you can easily learn the angles and A's length for all the crystal lattice. The number of other particles a particle is in directly contact with is called its coordination number. Greater the coordination number, stronger the attractive forces in the crystal and stronger its packing efficiency. Now, let us start the types of unit cells. Unit cells are of 2 types, that is primitive and centered. Primitive means the basic structure in which only the particles are arranged at the corners of the unit cell, whereas centered in which the particles are arranged at the basic positions or the corners as well as at some other places of the unit cell. So let us begin with the primitive unit cell. This is a primitive unit cell of cubic structure or the cubic crystal lattice, in which all the particles, constituting particles, are arranged at the corners of the unit cell. This unit cell is consist of 8 particles which are forming a cube-like structure when attached with straight lines. These straight lines are responsible for the geometrical shape of the crystal. You can see that these 8 are the constituting particles which may be ions, atoms or molecules. All the different various lattices having the primitive structures as per their geometrical shapes. In a primitive structure, the spheres or the atoms or constituting particles are directly attached with each other without leaving any place between them. So they look like the structure you are having on your screen. The free space between these particles are named as void. This primitive unit cell is having a void. The coordination number for this type of unit cell is 6 because every atom is in directly contact with 6 other particles. To consist a single unit cell, 1/8th part of a constituting particle is contributed. So 8 particles contributes their 1/8 part, and the total 1 constituting particle is used to make a primitive cubic crystal lattice. All the 8 particles are contributing 1/8 from the 8 corners. So the total 1 atom is used to make a cubic crystal primitive lattice. So we must remember that the coordination number for a primitive cubic crystal lattice is 6 and the contribution of particles is 1/8 into 8, that is 1 atom or 1 particle. The edge length for this type of lattice is 2r because they are not having any free space between them. So the radius of 2 particles is equal to the edge length and the angles are equal, that is 90 degree. You can see that the single particle is in directly contact with 6 other particles, proving the coordination number 6. Now the second type of unit cell is body centered, in which constituting particles are arranged at the primitive sites as well as at the body center. That means particles are arranged at the corners of the unit cell as well as one particle is found at the center of the body, hence named body centered cubic crystal lattice. In these type of crystal lattice, you can see that the primitive particles are having a gap between two particles. So the edge length is not equals to 2r or the double of their radius. And this gap is due to the presence of one particle at the center of the unit cell. The total contribution of constituting particles is the sum of these all particles, that is, one atom from the primitive side and one complete atom present at the center. That means total 2 particles or atoms are present in a unit cell. 1/8 into 8 corners constitutes 1 atom and 1 atom present at the center of the cube. Total 2 atoms are used to make a body centered cubic crystal lattice. The coordination number for this type of lattice is 8 and the edge length is 4 by root 3 times of the radius of the cubic particles. And the last type is face centered, in which constituting particles are arranged at the primitive sites as well as at the center of every faces, that is 6 faces. The atoms present at the center of face is contributing only half of them to the unit cell, and primitive as well, 1/8 of every particle is contributed. So the total number of particles to consist a face centered cubic crystal lattice is 4 atoms, 1 from the primitive side and 3 from the face centered. The coordination number for every constituting particle is 12 for the face centered crystal lattice. In this type of lattice, again the edge length is not equals to 2r due to the gap between the particles. And these gaps are due to the presence of one constituting particle at the center of their faces. You can see that 8 corners contributing 1 by 8 atom. Then 6 faces are contributing 1 by 2 of them. And the total number of atoms are 4. The edge length of these unit cells is 2 root 2 times of the radius of the particles. So you have to remember that every crystal lattice is made of an infinite number of particles, or lattice site is occupied by a constituting particle. There is one atom in a simple cubic unit cell, 2 atoms in a body-centered unit cell, and 4 atoms in a face-centered unit cell. Thank you everyone, and hope you are able to understand the concept. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it to get the next video for the same chapter. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.